Yo guys, welcome back to the Didi Tekz podcast, and guys, let's just take some time to hit the Bukayo Saka celebration because our star boy, our wonder boy, he scored in this big Champions League quarterfinals, and guys, what a game. What a game, what a result, what a performance, what a defensive masterclass from Arsenal. Dad, how do you think this game went?
Wow. It was amazing, a great game today to watch. Arsenal, the way Arsenal go at Bernabeu today to prove everyone, the whole world here, watch the game today to see Arsenal beat Real Madrid at their home ground.
Exactly.
It was amazing.
I agree.
I'm so happy about it.
Exactly. I love how you put the emphasis of at their home ground, because this is the Bernabeu, and like you said, this, in my opinion, is probably the biggest stadium in the world. And Arsenal came here as the underdogs and coming into the whole tie against Real Madrid, because people was probably seeing Arsenal as the underdogs, as Mbappe landing to Real Madrid. The world has to get ready with all the other star players they have in Bellingham, Rodrigo, Vinicius, Mbappe, and Arsenal are obviously the underdogs. And I'm so happy because Arsenal came here, we were confident, we played our own game, we had our game plan, and we come and won at the Bernabeu, the biggest stadium in the world, at the home of Real Madrid, the kings of the competition. So that although we can talk about Arsenal's defensive masterclass and the fact that both of Martinelli and Saka got the goals today, and obviously the contribution with the 2 assists from Mika Marino, how important do you think the attacking front three were in this game today?
Today our attackers were so amazing, from Martinelli to Mourinho and to Bukayo Saka. 3 of them, they play really well. The way they join the attack and defend massively. So today they play really well. And you could see today that even the 2 wingers got us the goal. Which is going forward is a good thing for a team. When your wingers can get you goals. And Mourinho brought the assist to show that the attacking players today, they did brilliant. I'm so happy for them.
I agree.
Well,
When you're talking about the goals, I'm thinking about things that when we're coming to a team like the Bernabeu, we're going to defend a lot, and we're going to need, like the thing with Martinelli, who did the most. Martinelli had the legs, he was the express route out and away from the pressure. He won a few fouls, Saka won a few fouls here and there to stop the watch and to slow the game down, and I think that's what our front three did so well. If you were to count the amount of fouls they won, it would be so much, and I think that's just so much credit to Bukayo Saka, to Mika Marino, and to Gabriel Martinelli, because they won so many fouls. It took pressure off the back line, and I feel like, again, like you said, all of the front three got goal contributions today, and it shows how much effort and how important they were in this game today. Now we're talking about the attackers. Let's take a moment and praise our back line, who stops the attackers, the superstars of Real Madrid, and who's kept them quiet. Lewis Skelly, William Saliba, Jakub Kiwior, surprisingly guys, and Jurrien Timber. How well did they do in this game specifically?
Today, our defense line, they were so amazing. You could see the first 5 minutes of the game, the pressure the Man United puts on them.
Real Madrid.
The way they stay composed, the way they were composed, keeping the ball, because they tried to force them into errors or to cause penalty. But they were so solid. Saliba, even Kiwior, I was so surprised to see Kiwior. Even with all that pressure, the noise in the Belaba, but you see Kiwior still keep his composure. Even the young lad, Skelly, it was so amazing today. Despite the pressure, but he still keep calm.
I agree.
Timber was the same thing. So I will give all the defense line credit. Even David Ryan, the way he composed and
goalkeeper.
Play out from back. Try to calm everything down. So I give them credit. Our defense line today, they did very well.
I agree. I noticed that you kept on mentioning the word. They kept calm, composure, and I feel like that was the key aspect in this game today, was the fact that they stayed composed, they stayed calm. Look at the atmosphere in the big Bernabeu, and the fact that people like Jakub Kiwior, Lewis Skelly, and their young players, they're all very young, and they stayed composed, they stayed confident. Even David Raya, I love how David Raya sometimes at times, although he was on a yellow card early, but he still remained focused and remained calm, and whenever he needed to run the clock down, he ran it down, and he did it to an extent, because some keepers could maybe do too much and run the clock down and be silly with it and maybe get a second yellow, but David Raya did it just before the ref would blow. He would kick it out, and I think that's something that was so smart from David Raya. But going on to the back line, we were so solid. You know, Miles Lewis-Skelly was so comfortable on the ball. Saliba, you know, he was quality and really stepped up as well because of the injury to Gabriel Magalhaes. I feel like I give William Saliba so much credit to the way he stepped up to the occasion. Jurrien Timber has just been solid as always, up against, you know, one of the best wingers in the world in Vinicius Junior and Jakub Kiwior. Oh my gosh, Miles Lewis-Skelly, I think he had a wonderful performance. You know, I love how he plays with no fear. He clearly seems to be press resistant, because the way he receives the ball, like, he plays here every week. He's so confident, so comfortable, and I love his composure on the ball. As well as Kiwior, I'm sure not just me, many Arsenal fans would have preferred Ben White at centre back with William Saliba going to the first game, but I feel like Kiwior has proved so many people wrong. You know, so composed. He was up against probably the best player in the world in my eyes, Kylian Mbappe. You know, Mbappe is quick, he's strong. Although Saliba did so well to hold his ground, but I think Kiwior deserves a lot of credit. Timber, you know what you said, like against Vinicius Junior, you know, the tussle between him and him, it was a real good battle, and I think Timber stayed strong. William Saliba had an excellent game apart from the goal, but I feel like overall the backline was amazing. And how much of the credit do you think Mikel Arteta deserves?
Yeah, all the credit will go to Mikel Arteta, the way he managed this game today.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said in order of our video, that as a young manager, this is one of the big games of his career.
Yeah.
And today he went all the way to Spain to prove that yes, he had a game plan and he worked.
Exactly.
He was so disciplined and calm, and the way he managed the game, even the substitution and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I should give him credit for that.
I agree.
I mean, he did very well.
I agree, you know, what you said, you know, the way he managed the game, you know, again, he is such a young manager, and this is probably one of the biggest games he's ever managed for Arsenal, and the way he set up, and I think in this game especially, you know, how disciplined we were in defence, how quick we were in transitions. We had a clear game plan and it worked to perfection, like we saw with the last goal. We used Martinelli's pace, Mikel Merino slid the ball in, Martinelli still had the running power, the energy, the work rate, like Martinelli has been showing us for such a long time now, and I really have to give him credit, and it was just a brilliant goal. I feel like Martinelli had a brilliant performance, and there were many other amazing performances in this game. But going over performances, Dan, in this game today, who was your stand-up player and why?
To be honest, today in this game today, I will say I have so many standard players, because as a team, if I'm to choose one, I will choose Martinelli. Because he was running all the time. Though the two wingers, Martinelli and Bukayo Saka, at least they got us the goal. They had to prove that, you know, when your winger can get you a goal, I mean, going forward, it's a very good team. So today I will give it to Martinelli, because he was going up and coming back to support, to defend, and with that goal he scored, the way he ran all through, let that go.
Amazing.
I'll give him credit.
Amazing.
I mean, he deserves my
Martinelli, his work rate, his determination, and like we saw with the last goal, you know, the fact that he even made the run, because to be honest, at that time, I feel like the tie was already done, and Martinelli, he did the extra for the team, for Mikel Arteta, his boss, who had trust in Martinelli, because, you know, at the start of the season, we were already talking about getting in people like Nico Williams or like a Rafael Leao to replace Martinelli, and I think Mikel Arteta didn't bring in another left winger because he believed in Martinelli, and Martinelli has really repaid Arteta with his work rate, his desire. We see the way he always tracks back at 100% cost limit, and he did it again today. And with the last goal, the way he ran against Fran Garcia, who isn't slow, Martinelli showed the determination and the desire to finish coolly against probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world in Thibaut Courtois. Like you said, Martinelli had a really good game, but my man of the match in this game today personally is Kiwior. I'm sure many of you guys will be shocked, but I feel like Kiwior had an amazing game purely because people would 100% doubt him, thinking why is he playing? Why can't Ben White play? Or would he make a mistake against Real Madrid, against Mbappe? And I feel in this game today, he really didn't put a foot wrong. I feel like William Saliba was a real close contender because he made a few important interventions, but I feel like the goal from Vinicius Junior has probably put him down the chart ratings, and I feel like that's probably the only reason he didn't get my man of the match. Miles Lewis-Skelly was amazing as always, and I feel like he was so close in the contender list. And you know, Timber, Saka, Martinelli, we really could have said anyone as the man of the match. For me personally, I feel like Kiwior, he didn't really put a foot wrong. He looked so comfortable and composed, which I wasn't expecting him to be, and he was my personal man of the match. So that as of now, we're in the quarterfinals, and by the looks of things, we are going to play against Paris Saint-Germain. Do you have any early predictions going into that semi-final clash with PSG? And also, do you think we can go all the way?
To be honest, yeah, PSG, I'm not scared of PSG at this moment.
Really?
But I'm just going to celebrate this, to enjoy this. But I know in that game, I'm not scared of PSG, to be honest. Yeah, Arsenal can go all the way. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I understand why you said you're not scared of PSG. But for me, I feel like PSG are probably a better team all round than Real Madrid, because I feel like they're more defensively balanced. Going forward, they have Desiree Doué, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Bradley Barcola, and they have probably two of the best fullbacks in the world in Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, and I feel like that's probably going to be the difference, because Hakimi and Nuno Mendes are amazing, and as we saw against Aston Villa, both of them got on the score sheet, and that's how good they are going forward. But I feel like it's going to be an amazing game. I feel like I'm more scared of PSG as I was against Real Madrid, because like I said, PSG are probably more solid in defence, they're more comfortable defending, and they're more balanced. But I feel like the only thing that can give Arsenal hope is the fact that how much pressure Aston Villa put on PSG. And in the first half between Aston Villa and PSG looked like the game was done. I think it was 2-0, but PSG were controlling it, and the way Aston Villa changed the momentum, it really put PSG under pressure. And I feel like if a team like Aston Villa can do that, who knows what Arsenal can do. So I'm so positive, and I feel like it's going to be an amazing game, but Arsenal are 100% in it. So Dad, do you think we can go all the way?
Yeah, I think we can go the way.
Yeah, like if we can knock out Real Madrid, who can't we beat? Because Real Madrid are the kings of the competition, and we've knocked them out. Come to the Bernabeu, beat them 2-1. If we can come to the Bernabeu and win, why can't we go and win? So I feel like this is in for Arsenal, and Arsenal, we can win this whole Champions League. I strongly believe that, and if we do, you know how happy I'll be. So Dad, you've been amazing as always. Guys, you can put down in the comment section below your thoughts on the game, and your man of the match, and if you think Arsenal can go all the way. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's Didi Tekz out.